We treated only 5 people with pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer is the one where they tell you in 8 weeks you're going to die, and in 8 weeks you're dead. We would take people with 1 or 2 weeks life left. In 3 months, they had no signs of the disease. Gcmaf is the cure for pancreatic cancer. It's a slam dunk. And that's one of the worst of the cancers. Gcmaf works with all with all tumour cancers, which are 90% of them. In the laboratory, it works with leukemia and multiple myeloma, but it doesn't work in tumours as well. And if we had more scientists, we would eventually find out why. When we started, we were curing 5% of terminal stage 4s. Lynn kept getting that figure up and up and up. And in the end, she was curing 89% of terminal stage 4s. At our clinic in Switzerland, she was curing 75% of terminal stage 4s. Anything less than terminal stage 4s isn't very interesting to us. We tend not to bother. We wrote a research paper, and let's just see if I can find this. Oh gosh. Right, well, let's just cover these points here. So, Gcmaf, if it was put in the NHS, would save 120,000 lives a year. It's as simple as that. Gcmaf is a safe, natural human protein and a human right. It's inside 5 billion people, and if it isn't inside a person, it's because the poison of nagalase has already been sent out by a disease or by cancer. All of this is on the gcmaf.se website. So as I wrote up this for AV10, I put it on the gcmaf.eu website, and the next half of the talk is on the MHRA Corrupt website. So 11,500 patients have taken it. About 1% have had sniffles or feel a bit lousy for a couple of days. That's their immune system waking up. That's as bad as it gets. That's what you would expect with a human protein. That's why natural cures, that's why vitamins are safe, because they are natural. Drugs are created by man, and a lot of drugs. And, you know, the MHRA has licensed more than a dozen drugs that kill. Opioids killed 200,000, Vioxx killed 149,000, and Avandia from GlaxoSmithKline only killed 83,000. GlaxoSmithKline is a British company, and their men sit on the board of the MHRA. That's why we got absolutely slaughtered. Oh, right. Okay, thanks. So, 11,500 people taken it. We got 9,000 successes. It's sort of the 80% range. We got much higher successes ourselves in the clinics than people did at home. Another story on pancreatic cancer. We had one patient who took Gcmaf at home, and he could only afford 0.75 of a mil twice a week. But he reduced his pancreatic cancer over 9 months, by 50%, and he was really coming on well. You know, I mean, we would have done that quicker in a clinic, but to do that on your own at home is very good. Then wiser counsels prevailed, and his parents and his doctor talked him into taking chemotherapy. And how long did it take chemotherapy to kill him? 2 months. It always takes 2 months with a terminal stage 4. And always remember that when Gcmaf fails, it just does nothing. There's no nasty side effects. So 400 doctors supported, 240 obtained it directly from us, and about 100 were too frightened, so they would get their patients to buy it from us. And there's every reason to be too frightened. Dr. Jeffrey Bradstreet was murdered by an assassin who shot him in the chest. 100 American doctors have now been murdered in the same way. If you go on Erin Elizabeth's Health News website, put that into Google, she has a list with pictures of over 90 of them. And if you're an American doctor, that's how they keep you scared. It's how they stop you using Gcmaf. This is how they force you to take drugs. This is how they keep you controlled. So there are 1,000 Gcmaf research papers on Google Scholar. There's no excuse for the government not to know about Gcmaf. There's no excuse at all, but they don't. And why? Because they take all their medical information from the MHRA. It's a disgrace. We'll go on with more of that later. So 300 scientists have written 150 peer-reviewed scientific research papers on Gcmaf, published in the world's top journals. This is a higher tier than Google Scholar. So, in France, we're being prosecuted as a gang. So our gang consisted of 4 scientists, the most senior being Professor Marco Ruggiero, MD. What happened was he eventually wanted to leave the University of Florence and asked me if he could join us. He only wanted 20,000 a month, euros. So I thought for about 5 seconds and said, yes, absolutely. He's the best man in the world, we want him. So we had 4 scientists, 7 doctors, 2 ultrasound staff, 4 nurses and admin staff, and we are a gang. So the American National Library of Medicine, which is the top resource in the world for scientific research papers, has 70 on Gcmaf. And we're just going to look through 5 of them. This is something that we wrote to Matt Hancock, my MP, Sir Desmond Swain, wrote to Matt Hancock and said, here are 3 Gcmaf research papers. Will you read them and just make sure you're not missing a trick? Don't contact the MHRA, because they won't tell you the truth. What did he do, Matt Hancock? The Department of Health. He contacted the MHRA, and we got a land of verbal abuse about the MHRA, all their standard MHRA phrases about Gcmaf, and they never read the research papers. It is criminal, the incompetence of Parliament. So there's the website for the National Library of Medicine. Don't forget, all this is on the Gcmaf website, so you don't have to write it down. The whole lot is. So if you go to NCBI.